Doromizu Jirochou, one of the Kabuki Districts Four Devas and one of Gintama's best antagonists. He was a man who made a promise, but in order to uphold that promise, he had to throw away his humanity and become a protector without any familiar strings left intact. And so this is the man we will discuss today. If you find yourself entertained at any point during the video, then consider liking, subscribing and ringing that bell, as I cannot explain to you how much just a small action could do for this channel. And if you want to go the extra mile and support me even further, you can always check out my Patreon. Anyway, on with the video. Born and raised in the Kabuki district, Jirochou was always someone who was deeply tied to the place he called home. He was a troublemaker in his youth, but was always straightened out by his childhood friend Otose. She stuck by him through thick and thin, and for this reason he fell in love with her. However, someone else also loved her, that being his best friend, Tatsugoro. One of them protected the Kabuki district as a vigilante from the shadows, the other with the police in the light. The thing is, both of them loved their home, their town, and both wanted to protect it. After all, both of them were true samurai, and true samurai protect. Jirochou loved Otose and wanted to be with her, but as is his nature, he chose to put his own happiness aside for the sake of others. He let Tatsugoro marry Otose as he thought that would make both of them happier than if he had made a move, and so he married someone else and had a child named Piriko. When the Yamato invaded, the samurai raised their swords and fought, and Jirochou and Tatsugoro were of course ready to fight in order to protect their home. However, Jirochou made a promise before he left. He promised to his wife and his daughter that he would come back from the war one day. During the war, Jirochou was almost killed, only surviving due to the sacrifice of his friend. With his friend dead and one of the Kabuki District's protectors gone, Jirochou made a decision, a promise to himself and to his dead friend. He decided to protect his town twofold, to protect the home of his dead friend in his place no matter what. And much like how another of Gintama's antagonists, Jiraiya, threw away his identity in order to become a true protector, Jirochou threw away his humanity. He severed his connections and snuffed out his emotions. His only purpose in life became protecting the Kabuki district, which he did for many years. He became one of the town's four devas, the leader of the Yakuza group, and the man who protected the Kabuki district from the shadows. However, by doing all this, he may have been honouring the promise he made to his friend to protect their town, but he was also throwing aside the promise he made with his family. Not that it mattered anymore, as he had long since thrown away his humanity, and so had thrown away his connection to his family. And that's the biggest flaw of Jirochou as a person. He believed that to protect you had to throw away sentiment and throw away connection, something he later shows when he tries to force Otose out of town and away from him so that he didn't have to worry about her. A samurai protects above all else, and this is something Jirochou does, but even so he isn't a samurai anymore. Not a true one, because the things a samurai protect are the things they consider precious. Their connections, their bonds, their emotions. Without these, Jirochou isn't really protecting anything, he's just living as an emotionless Yakuza. Without feelings you cannot protect anything, and this is what Gintoki shows Jirochou. As much like Jirochou, Gintoki had fought in that grisly war, he had lost people precious to him, he had suffered the same heart-wrenching pain, but unlike him, he didn't compromise. He didn't throw away his connections in order to protect them better in the future, no, he clung onto them even more closely and fought even harder so that he would never lose them again. The reason he can fight so hard is precisely because he cares. Jirochou lost that care, he lost the emotional reason behind why he wanted to protect the Kabuki district to begin with. However, upon seeing someone like him, someone who went through the same pain as him but can still both protect and wear his emotions on his chest, Jirochou came to understand. He understood his error. Tatsugoro protected the Kabuki district, but he never stopped loving Otose. He didn't protect the town any less after getting married, no, he did so even more so, as now there was someone even more precious for him to protect. Jirochou, thanks to Gintoki, is finally able to stop giving his all to protecting, as not only was he shown the errors of his thinking, but now he has someone to entrust the future of his town to. Gintoki proved that he was more worthy of protecting the Kabuki district, because unlike Jirochou, he protected it not out of duty or because of a promise, but because he considers the town precious and will protect it until his last breath. And with that settled, Jirochou is finally able to honour the promise he made to his wife and daughter. He returns from the war and reunites with his daughter. He now fights not out of duty, but in order to protect the thing most precious to him, his daughter. And then in the Silver Soul arc, when he returns, he is once again a true samurai, as he has now devoted his life to protecting the things he calls precious, his daughter, and so for the first time since the Joy War, he protects the Kabuki district in a way fitting of a true samurai. In a way that would have made Tatsugoro proud. Comment of the week comes from my good friend Utaku Dreams, and I definitely agree that Yotsuba is best girl, because all 5 quintuplets are best girl. If you're interested in my literary endeavours, then why not check out my books Gang Fluid Justice and People of Fate Volume 1, available at Amazon.com. And if you want to support this channel even further, then consider pledging to my Patreon, where for as little as £2.75 a month you can get your name at the end of the video, like Hikari Desu, 7SO and Smokey McBobby. So with all that said and done, I've been Seth the Sin, the Deadly Sin of Geek, and I'm signing out. Stay safe everyone.